In this video, I'm going to talk about Maya's interface. Unlike other softwares, Maya's menu bar is different in two ways. One, the first 7 menu items are always going to be the same. They don't change. So File, Edit, Create, Select, Modify, Display windows, they're always going to be the same, including the last menu item here, Help. The other menu items will change according to the work we're doing. So currently the work we're doing is modeling. And if I change to region, it will show me menu items related to region. If I change to animation, it will show me menu items related to animation. Secondly, if I open a menu item here, I can only access the content inside, but I can also tear the menu item off. So let's say if I'm going to use a certain feature a couple of times, instead of coming to the menu item and choose what I want, I can basically just choose it from here. This also applies for submenus. I can tear submenus off and then keep it here for later on if I want to use them. Let's go through Maya's user interface element. The user interface element you can find here under Windows. Here, user interface elements, and these user interface elements, I can show all of them or hide all of them, show all of them or hide all of them. Now I'm using Maya 2019, so if you have a different version like 2018 or 2017, you probably find this user interface element in display here. So just so you know for your own case, let's go through these user interface elements. I'm just going to hide all of them so we can go through them one by one. The first one here on our list is the status line. The status line here, status line basically has some status information. It shows us what kind of menu set we have selected, which tell us what kind of work we're doing. There are also our regular quick access buttons, that is the save, open, redo, undo, and also on the far right here we have some rendering buttons, and all of these and all of these other buttons. These buttons here shows us on like which mode we're on, so object mode or component mode, object mode or component mode. The time slider is one of the most important components. The time slider is here. The time slider is one of the most important components to animation. So if you're going to do animation, you will need the time slider. These numbers here are the number of frames. So we can create multiple number of frames within seconds. If we want to control how many frames to show within the timeline, we need the range slider, which brings us to the next user interface element as the range slider. On the range slider, we can choose what should be on the range of the time slider. So now it's showing frame from 1 to 121. And if we want to increase the number of frames, we just click and drag. So now we have frames from 1 to 200. And we can also manually enter the number of frames that we want. So let's say I want frames from 10 to 150. So now it's showing frames on the time slider from 10 to 150. Command line allows us to create objects manually. We can enter commands either in Mail or Python. So for example, if I want to create a certain object, let's say a sphere, I can just write here sphere and enter, and then it will create a sphere here. We can do this for any other object that we want to create. On the right side of the command line, it's also showing result. So let's say if we create an object here, or like we're doing a walk, and then there are some errors. The error messages are being shown here, so it should result in error messages. Next on our user interface element is the helpline. The helpline is just a single line which is not editable. It just shows information about the work we're doing or at which position we are. So if I move my mouse pointer around this object, so if I move my mouse pointer around this object, it shows you information about those objects or about the particular work that we're doing. Next, we're going to talk about the toolbox. The toolbox is divided into two areas. You have the upper area and then the lower area. The upper area contains tools that you can use, tools like select, the lasso, the pin selection, the move, rotate, and scale. So if you have an object here, you can use these tools in whatever way how you want. If you want to rotate it, if you want to move that particular object to whatever position that you want. The lower part here is where you can find the viewport layout. So this particular layout here is the one viewport layout. So this is the perspective. If you want, you can change to a four viewport layout. This is where we actually are, and then you have the top side, the front side, and then you have the different sides here. The other one down here is a two viewport layout, wherein you see the front side of the object and everything, which is the perspective. So I hope you have now a better intuition about Maya's interface and how to use it, and you'll be able to navigate through the interface without problems. Thank you.